All right. Carnivore Soldier coming at you from Austin, Texas. It's another hump day. We made it. Another week. Another time to celebrate a victory, to review failures and fix things in our diet, tweak where we're going. This is our chance every week to restart and reset and get on the right path. So you just got to know the path you're going on. But anyway, thanks for coming. This is great. I got two guests tonight, and one of them had to cancel. I'm really bummed he had to cancel at last minute. It is Carnivore Teacher. If you haven't seen his videos, unfortunately, right now you can't because his whole channel got deleted today. So that must have been quite an event. So he's kind of trying to figure out why his channel got deleted and what his options are to try to get it back. And he just said he wouldn't be a good guest today. And I agree. If my channel got deleted, I would not be a great guest that day either. The other guest we have is Katarina. You know her from Meat Fueled Living. And Kat had some things come up in the last minute, so she's going to be late getting here probably. So you guys get me, which is fine. This is all good. So welcome in. What we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about something that every carnivore is going to run into, and that is vegan arguments on social media or in person, right? And the vegan argument that I run into the most is that I'm a horrible person because I'm choosing to eat meat and I'm killing animals, right? And that's the main argument I kind of wanted to get in and discuss holistically, look in the whole big picture of different types of diets and what kind of animals have to die for those diets, right? Because you're going to run into this if you haven't already. People are going to bring it up and they're going to try to make you feel bad. And I just want you don't have to necessarily argue with them. You're not going to argue someone into becoming a carnivore, and I don't recommend that at all. But I just want you to know that what the path you're on at carnivore can be very good for animals. I mean, basically, you can eat animals that are ethically raised if you want, if you have the budget to do that. Even if you don't, it's still better than, well, it's not better. It's just different that you look at the animals that are killed by industrial crop harvesting and raising. And here in Texas, I don't know if you all know this, but in Texas, we have pig problems, right? We have lots of feral pigs out there, and these pigs root around and they'll destroy crops, which they do on a regular basis. They destroy all kinds of agriculture. So farmers will frequently pay hunters to come cull the pigs, and the hunters will set up night shoots and they'll go out and take out all these pigs. And we're talking hundreds of pigs. They'll just shoot them all night long, and with silenced weapons. It's just so the vegetables can be harvested later on, right? For the people that are eating vegetables. And so some of the arguments I hear, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and just pop in at QQQ. It doesn't necessarily have to be on this topic. This is just a topic I feel like talking about right now. And if you guys have questions, we can definitely talk your stuff too. Hey, Tracy, I see you're here. Good. You miss Hump Day live with your church group, but you're still at the office, so you get to listen. That's great. That's good. Early for once in your life. Welcome, Sandra. I see Eric Carnivore RN is here. Way to go, brother. We've got Karen Wilson here and Beth's here. All right, we got some good people in here. So some of the arguments I hear from the vegan side, and I get it. They really think that they're doing an altruistic thing. They're trying to save animals, right? But not realizing all the things that go on whenever wild land is converted for human use. And what I mean by that is, these crops, these acres of crops are natural wild land that are converted. They're basically plowed over. Any trees are ripped out. Ecosystems are destroyed just so they can plant wheat or whatever. And I use wheat for an example because one of the arguments that the vegans say is, well, most of the crop goes to feeding animals that you're eating. Okay, so wheat is not one of those. That's, if you're talking about that, you're talking about corn and soy, because that goes to feeding the crops, feeding the animals. A wheat crop in America, only 10% goes to feeding animals. 90% goes to human use. So you can use a wheat crop as a good example, because every vegan probably eats wheat products, whether it's, your cookies or your bread or any protein bars. They all have wheat in them, right? So most processed foods have wheat. So the wheat is a great example, because even if you stopped eating meat, you still would have most of the wheat crop intact. And actually, you'd convert to eating more plants, so you probably have a larger wheat crop. So what I did is I went to Google Bard, which I recommend you guys use for your AI, and I asked Google Bard a few questions. And Google Bard will go out and look for research papers to back up. So I asked Google Bard, I said, hey, Google Bard, how many animals per acre of wheat are killed annually? And Google Bard came back with an answer between 6 and 40 per acre. And there's studies. They have like 3 or 4 different studies that says some people actually even say more than 40. But you can conservatively say 6 to 40. Probably 10 is a good number, right? Maybe more, maybe less. And when we're talking about killing animals, we're talking about animals that are killed by pesticides, because you don't want birds in there eating all that stuff. Animals that are killed during the whenever they plow. Whenever they plow, they're killing rabbits, they're killing voles, moles, snakes, whatever's in the ground. When that plow comes, they get killed. And you'll always see, I don't know if any of you have any experience of being on a farm, but when they're plowing a field, birds will frequently fly behind the plow, because they're basically picking up some free food if there's some dead animals in there. So that's pretty common. So yeah, so we can go to that and say, all right, wheat, approximately 10 animals, we'll guess, just as a low number, we'll say 10 is a number we can probably live with. And then I said, well, how many acres of wheat are harvested in America alone? And in America, 37.2 million acres of wheat. So 10 times that, so we're talking 370 million animals killed annually, just in the harvesting of wheat, which doesn't include corn, soy, which are larger crops, or any of the other vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, any of this other stuff. We're talking billions of animals per year are killed in harvesting harvesting food. So if you're talking about other vegetables like tomatoes and potatoes, those aren't fed to animals at all, maybe in dog food, but that's because dog food's crazy. That's not a good product. But anyway, so it's primarily human use, right? These other veggies. So it's really a good argument to say that, and you don't have to argue with them, but at least you can feel comfortable knowing that, that what they believe is false doctrine. That's really what I'm talking about. I'm not advocating you argue with vegans and try to tell them this stuff. I've done that, and it's a waste of time. They're on their plan. I'm not going to argue with their plan, but you know what? They're not going to shake my foundation of eating a couple cows a year and chicken eggs and bacon, right? A few pigs a year, when they're responsible for killing, a lot of animals directly or indirectly. So I just want to make sure you guys realize that if you can do some research, even like olive oil, like there's millions of birds are killed every year making olive oil, because they vacuum the olives out of the tree with these industrial vacuums, and they capture a lot of birds, and they get suffocated, and they show up in the piles of the olives. So even olive oil is killing tons of animals every year. So I mean, there's no way around it when you're doing industrial agriculture. Now, if someone's growing their own crops and they are doing non-lethal, protections of those crops and not using pesticides, hey man, more power to you. That's no difference than someone raising their own animals or buying animals from someone local who does raise them ethically. Like in my neighborhood, where if I make a left out of my neighborhood, I'm at the ranches, right? And the ranches, actually, you can just buy in on a quarter cow whenever you want, or a half cow, and go and visit your cow while it's growing up. and see how it's raised. So no different, right? So I just want you to know that vegans don't have a higher ground morally than we do. They may feel that, but I wouldn't really get in an argument with them. I just let them, feel that. That's fine. And just know in your mind, though, that you're not a terrible person for eating meat, and you're not any less of a good person than they are, right? So Nia says she's gotten this comment several times. I try to present the argument as I believe these points never cross. But you can try to present the argument. I have, usually not with the great results. Sometimes they just ignore that part. They don't want to talk about it, which is fine. But I just prefer not to get confrontational. I don't know. If it's someone one-to-one, I'm just like, well, a lot of people, a lot of animals die making things. So let's see. Let's talk about where do you get your vitamin C from? So vitamin C, when you're on an all meat diet, your recommended daily allowances, the RDA of vitamin requirements, are much lower than if you're on a plant and meat-based diet. And the reason for that, from what I understand, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, but Dr. Chafee told me about it, and I did read some studies. The reason for that is plants have anti-nutrients. They absorb and block nutrient absorption. So if you're eating bread and meat, then you need milligrams of vitamin C, milligrams in your diet to actually make sure you get enough in your bloodstream and in your body. If you're only eating meat, you only need nanograms, which is a millionth of the requirement. So you literally need 1,000,000 times more vitamin C if you're eating a mixed diet or a standard American diet than you do if you're just eating meat. And what's interesting is the French army in the 19th century and the British Navy in the 19th century, they used to have a raw meat or a fresh meat. It's not raw. It was a fresh meat protocol to treat scurvy. So scurvy is a condition when you don't have enough vitamin C. Your teeth, gums bleed, teeth fall out. A lot of bad stuff happens. That happens when you don't have enough vitamin C in your diet. But I'm a carnivore for 310 days now, I think, and I don't have scurvy. I don't take any vitamin C. I just eat meat. It's interesting that if you are just eating meat, the meat itself has more than enough vitamin C for your needs, which are minimized because you're just eating meat. So, like I said, the French Army and the Royal Navy treated scurvy with a fresh meat protocol where they took them off everything except for meat and fed them fresh meat. Now, the reason the Army would get it, or the Navy, is that you can't get enough vitamin C out of dehydrated meat. It has to be fresh. So eat burgers, eat steaks. That's going to give you the vitamin C you need. Eating beef jerky or dehydrated meat is not going to give you the vitamin C, apparently, that you need. Like pemmican probably won't. So, well, maybe it will in the fat. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not an expert on nutrition, but I know that. So there are studies out there. If you do a fresh meat scurvy protocol, you'll find some interesting things. My friend George over in the UK, who is an Intel guy in the Army, he did that research and shared those with me, and it's very interesting. So vitamin C is not an issue, and that's the way I would answer it. I would say, well, because I don't eat a mixed diet, I just eat meat, then I don't have things blocking or absorbing my vitamin C. My vitamin C is coming from the meat and going right into my body, and I only need a millionth of what you need because you're eating a mixed diet. And that's just, and you can point them to these research studies that they'll tell you. I mean, you can actually Google it, I think, even. So let's see. Jason Hughes, yes, you don't need as much vitamin C. Yeah, literally a millionth of the amount of vitamin C. So that's a lot, right? Harvesters kill too. Yeah, it's harvesting, it's plowing, it's during the spraying insecticides during the crop, to keep the insects out. Well, that actually kills animals too. I wouldn't want to be on a field when they're flying a crop duster over it and spraying insecticides. That stuff can't be good for you. and it does kill animals. So they get sick, they die. And then beyond that, back to the whole crop issue, like I said, you're destroying entire ecosystems. Not only are animals removed from that area, but a lot of them starve because their food disappears, right? So if you have coyotes that are used to eating rabbits and whatever, and the rabbits get out, well, the coyotes got to eat something, and unless they find a new food source, they may starve to death. So it is the circle of life kind of thing. All right, Mark's channel. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Mark? Let's see. Crystal Firestone. Hi, fellow carnivores. Hello, Crystal. How you doing? Sorry, my guests aren't here. One of them, like I said, his channel got deleted, the Carnivore Teacher, and it got deleted today. And that guy had some great videos. I hope he gets his channel back soon. But you never know. So it's pretty scary because all these videos you make, I mean, they're your record, and if someone can just delete them and not let you know why, that's pretty scary. So that happened for him. And then again, like I said, Kat, she had a little emergency. She might be late getting here. So Katarina from Meat Fueled Living. Sandra, I'm most scared of tomatoes because unless they are rotated every crop, they get nematodes, and those tunnels aren't getting rotated, just more and more pesticides. The other thing about tomatoes is, and this is what I learned from Dr. Chafee, who's talking about it. It's not just tomatoes, it's nightshades, it's fruits. When a tomato or something is on the vine, when it's green, like a green tomato, has the most poisons in it out of any tomato, because it's got the most protection until it gets ripe. When the seeds are about to fall off, when it's about to ripen and fall off the vine, the poisons pull back into the vine, and the tomato gets less and less poisonous. And then if you pull it right before it falls off, or it falls off and you grab it, it's going to have the least amount of poison out of any tomato. Unfortunately, the way we ripen stuff now is we cut them while they're green from a vine stalk away from the plant and then ship them, and they ripen while they ship, which basically the poison doesn't leave. It stays in there. So these are the way we're shipping, and unless you're growing your own stuff, it's definitely not good. So these are definitely more poisonous. Okay, let's see. I was just having a discussion with a friend. This is Crystal Firestone, who is wanting me to take all these supplements. It's hard for folks to realize you don't need to waste your money. Yeah, that's right. I don't do any supplements anymore. I do have some supplements for if I'm sick, which I did get a staph infection because I was exposed to something and it was bad. And I did take vitamin C, a lot of it, and vitamin D. And I ate a lot of butter because butter has tons of vitamins in it. And I ate red meat. I ate a ribeye and burgers, and that's all vitamins, right? So you can share. There's some good images. I posted one on my Facebook or my YouTube page with the vitamins in butter and the vitamins in a ribeye, and it's pretty amazing. They are chock full of vitamins. Butter is actually a superfood. It's kind of like the ultimate protein bar in my mind. So if I feel I need more vitamins, I will eat more butter for sure. 5 years and I've not taken any vitamin C supplement and no scurvy. That's right. I mean, thanks for sharing, Marnie. That's the thing. There's no case where anyone's taking vitamin C supplements that I know that's carnivore and where they're not, where they've got scurvy. I've not seen anyone get scurvy. So, and there's all these doctors and stuff. I mean, they would say something. I'm sure an MD wouldn't tell people not to take vitamin C if they thought they needed it, because that could probably mess with their license, right? I imagine. Okay, Sandra, my aunt is a vegetarian and is kind of like me as a carnivore, as I am to her, but she freely admits she takes a lot of supplements. Is 79 is very active. Well, they have to take a lot of supplements. That's the thing. If you're going to be a vegetarian, well, they can eat eggs, I guess, as a vegetarian, and some eat fish, some are pescatarian, but so they can get some of the things they need from that. If you're a vegan, you definitely need B12. You'll die without it, and there's nothing you can really get enough B12 from in vegetables. And it's even if the vegetables do have B12, it may not be bioavailable. That's the other thing. So not only do they block nutrients, they absorb nutrients, but they have nutrients that aren't bioavailable, which means your body's not designed to absorb those, right? So they're not designed for eating plants. I mean, that's the way it is. So they go out they go out with the poop you do, which is quite large and a lot when you're a vegan and vegetarian. We're compared to us, which we have barely any poop because we are digesting everything and absorbing everything out of that food. We're getting every last bit. It's the most efficient way to eat. I mean, it's amazing. Okay. Hello from New Orleans. What's up, brother? Thanks for joining, Daryl. Sandra says 3 undisputed copyright strikes on EWTOB and you get deleted. Okay. Interesting. I don't have any copyright strikes, so I guess I'm good. I guess you should probably check and make sure you don't get copyright strikes. That's a good idea. But I check every now and then. I don't really play music or anything. I have one thing. It's like a running cadence that I put in, so I'm not worried about that too much. Sometimes I'm a guest on other people's channels and they get me copyright strikes when I stream on my channel, so I have to turn off certain things and try to delete it. Hey, what's up, Julia? Venetian Cat Fine Art. How's New Mexico doing? Texas is doing great. We're holding the line on the border, as everyone knows. I was a yeah, your gums don't bleed anymore. Yeah, me neither. I actually retired from the Texas Army National Guard in 2019, and I always used to joke about it. I was like, I wish Texas would secede so I could be a Republican Guard instead of a Texas National Guard, the Republic of Texas, right? Because in case you guys don't know, Texas is the only state that was a nation on its own before it became a state. It was the Republic of Texas, and that's kind of why we feel special about the state. I mean, I don't know about every other state, but I know in Texas we feel special about it because we've been independent before, and we're very independent people. And so it doesn't surprise me what we're doing on the border, and I support it. I mean, that's just the way it is. All right. Kind to me, not kind of like me. Oh, Sandra McConnell. Got it. Let's see. Oh, here's a question. When and where is the Carnivore Meetup KetoCon taking place? So KetoCon is the last day of May, which is a Friday, and the first 2 days of June, which is a Saturday and Sunday. There is a link, and I actually have a $50 discount code for that. And let's see if I can find that. I know I can find it. I'm going to post it in the chat for everybody, but a link to buy tickets. And we will have a meetup. I will be hosting a meetup. I know I just talked to Dr. Chafee, and he's going to be there. So I'm definitely meeting with him, and maybe some of y'all will be able to meet with him too. I didn't schedule anything specifically, but let's see. She's just walking the door. So Kat will be here in. But wait, what? How? Yeah. I'm gonna tell Kat to jump on. All right, I'm telling Kat to jump on. So, yeah, I haven't like specifically set up time for him to meet a bunch of us, but I'm definitely getting with him, and I'm sure he'd be willing to meet some of you guys if you guys are planning to come to KetoCon. It's in Austin, Texas. It's called Hack Your Health this year. Let me see if let me get the link. And I'll end the there we go. KetoCon. Yep, here it is. Okay, here's the ticket pricing. Right now, I think it is like $200 or something, and let's see. You can go if you can go to that. Let's see what it is. Right now, if you get your tickets, oh come on. Oh, here it is. It's $249, so it's $250, and then there's a $50 discount code, so you can get them for $200 for the whole weekend. Here's the code. I'm going to drop this into the chat. Just put it in when you're checking out, and you'll save $50. So you can get a 3-day ticket for $200. This is not bad. I mean, you're going to get to see I know Dr. Chafee's going to be there. I know Dr. Kiltz is going to be there. I think Dr. Barry's going to be there, and Dr. Baker. So plus there's a lot of other people. I mean, we're going to be able to see some great speakers there, which is fantastic in person, and probably meet a lot of them, I imagine. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's the KetoCon, last day of May, which is a Friday, and the first 2 days of June, which is a Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be there with my son, Colton, who's 14. And I turned 58 May 4th. So I'll be 58, which is crazy. I don't feel it. Definitely, my workout today was amazing. I definitely don't feel 58. All right, I including my sprints. I had some great sprints today. All right, New Mexico's doing well. Been painting like crazy thanks to Carnivore. Could barely paint when I started 6 months ago. That's interesting. So, yes, we had a mental health talk last night on Carrie's channel on Homestead How. I don't know if you guys got to watch it, but we had Dr. Chafee on. That's when I talked to him about that. We had Dr. Tony. I forget it. What's Tony's last name? I'm going to be talking with him pretty soon too. Tony Hampton, Dr. Hampton, and Dr. Ides, which she's a psychiatrist or psychologist. I think psychiatrist. Anyway, Gloria Ides, and it was really fantastic. And some of the things we touched on, which we didn't go really in depth, but were that some people lose their addictive personalities by switching to a carnivore diet. Like for me, I used to drink every night. Not that I was an alcoholic, but I'd have a drink every night. Now I haven't drunk. I mean, I did drink last month once, but literally it's like months between drinks. It's not nightly. It's not even weekly. It's not every weekend. And I just don't want to. It's weird. I just don't have any desire to drink alcohol like I used to. Also, we were talking about low serum cholesterol levels in your blood. And I had a theory that based on some studies I read that it causes veterans and first responders to commit suicide and take violent actions, because there's reason to believe that based on some of these studies. Dr. Chafee joined in. Oh, we got Kat here. Hey, Kat, how's it going?
Hey, I'm so sorry I'm late.
That's all right. Say hi to everybody.
Hi. Had a kid emergency dentist.
Oh, that's not fun. Tell him to eat carnivore and his teeth will be better.
It's braces. He has braces.
Okay. So I was just saying that the Dr. Chafee shared that, yeah, he's doing research on that low serum cholesterol, and it does cause people to have mental illness, but also to be risk takers, to be impulsive, to be violent. So when you see things like I grew up in the 60s and 70s, we didn't really have road rage, and now we have road rage everywhere, right? Every day I drive, I see it, I witness it, and it's very common now. I think a lot of things have changed based on this. Keep your cholesterol low, eat your oatmeal and your cereal to keep your cholesterol low. I think that's driving a lot of this stuff, this terrible diet we've had. So yeah, you missed a lot. We've been talking about I started out talking about the animals killed per acre of wheat harvested. Not to get into arguments with vegans, because I don't want to do that. But what I want to do is give people a good background and understanding that they aren't evil by eating cows. And vegans aren't evil by eating wheat products, right? And the reason I use wheat is because wheat is not used to feed animals typically, like soy and corn is. So even if people stopped eating animals, wheat crop would just get bigger probably, and more of it. So the answer, Kat, on that is it said between 6 and 40 animals per acre are killed annually. Whether it's pesticides, harvesting, plowing, all the things they do, or destroying the ecosystem to make a crop, where now, there was a coyote that used to eat rabbits, and now there's no rabbits there because there's a crop. So now the coyote's starving or whatever, right? So there's all these different things that happen. And I just wanted people to make sure they feel like, they have some moral ground. They're not evil by eating cows. And the other people aren't evil for eating vegetables. I mean, that's just what they choose to do. But they're going to try to make you feel that way. And I don't want you to get in arguments with them, but at least understand the math and understand what, so we figured out that like 370 million animals per year in the US on a low side estimate are killed just in the wheat crop harvest, or, wheat crop growth and harvest. So that's quite a few animals, right? And then if you add the larger crops out there, corn, soy, and then you add all the small crops like potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini, all these things, they have the same things going on. So you could easily say billions of animals, right? Billions of animals per year are killed eating crops that are raised industrially, right? And that's what, and if you're not raising your own plants, then you are taking part in that murder, right? So, I mean, so just feel good about what you're doing. It's not, and like I said, I wouldn't argue with vegans. They believe their thing, fine, but just don't let them get you down by saying you're a killer.
I was a vegan, so up until July, but I wasn't a vegan for the animal reason. Like, I wish I could say that I had that I'm out there trying to save all the animals, but it wasn't for me. It was just literally because of, my health or what I thought. But I would have never, ever got into an argument with anybody over what they ate or didn't eat. But I'll tell you what, the worst raking across the coals that I get on my channel is from vegans. My brothers and sisters, they're the meanest to me.
I get some vegans coming after me on stuff, and they post memes on my stuff, and I have to delete them off because they're just like, they're wrong. I'm like, okay, well, whatever, They're like, oh, there's always millions of plants you can eat, and you have to kill an animal. It's like,
I get a lot.
I'm like, I'm not gonna even argue that. That's so dumb.
I get a lot of the animal suffered and was so stressed out the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know that to be a fact or not a fact, but I can only look out for myself. And then if I can, protect whatever, then that's great. But I have to be here to raise my children. And if this is what I have to do, then.
Well, I mean, when a plow runs through and destroys a rabbit den and kills all the parents and the children, and I'm sure they don't suffer at all when they get plowed into dirt. And when you see them plowing fields, birds fly behind it because they're going to get the food that's ground up. It's like fresh kill. Right. I mean, that's just the way it works. So Dr. Hampton did not say he was going there. I did not ask him, but I am interviewing him hopefully in the coming months. I sent him my Calendly link after the talk last night. I was on the mental health thing last night with Dr. Hampton, Dr. Chafee, and Dr. Gloria Ides. And we talked with Homestead How, Carrie, and we talked about mental health, which is great. So Dr. Chafee did say he was going. The other two did not indicate whether they're going or not. So I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Oh, thanks, Crystal. So you watched it last night. I'm glad you liked that. It was pretty quick. It was brief. We had to just the doctors got on and talked, and the hosts interviewed them, and then we all got like 6 minutes to share a quick story about ourselves and ask a question. So the question I asked was, I said, okay, so we are the warrior class, like I like to say, we don't like to ask for help, but by the time we get out of service, commonly we're on meds, a lot of meds, and it's just common because the VA treats us with that. Or same with first responders. You're on meds. And that's what they know how to treat it with, right? So I said, how do we get off meds properly if we want to do this diet? Because I don't want people just to quit doing their meds. That's the wrong answer.
It's dangerous.
Right? And so deprescription is what it's called. And then Gloria shared, Gloria Eid, she shared on her website, she has a list of doctors who are keto doctors that will help deprescribe, nationwide list. So this is really good. So I shared it on my Facebook channel or my Facebook group, and I will end up sharing it on my YouTube channel as well. Maybe I'll put a link to it in this description of this video, because I think it's super important. If we're going to be talking to veterans, we need to kind of because they're going to go to their doctor and the doctor is going to tell them, oh, you know, that's a terrible idea. Don't do it. And they're not going to support them. So we need some kind of doctors that can support them being deprescribed, right? And healing. I don't know. How did you do your deprescription? Did you have a good doctor that supported, or how did you do yours, Kat?
Well, so I'm not off of all of my meds. I'm not off of like my blood pressure or my heart meds. But the ones for my bladder and other stuff, I just stopped taking them.
Okay.
But in those cases, I would never, like I take a beta blocker for my heart. I would never get off of that without a doctor's, you know, helping. That's very dangerous. But what I took for my bladder was not. You could stop it until you really were supposed to take it as needed. So, and then so anything that required a doctor's, I'm not off of those yet. So I can't tell you for certain, but I'm not taking like the Nexium or the GERD, you know what I mean, for that constantly. Every now and actually I never took Nexium, it was Protonix, but every now and again I still take that, but I don't take the bladder medicine at all anymore. So I'm not a really good person to talk about that because I'm still on it, and they're telling me that I can never get off of it. So I don't know. We'll have to.
Well, never is. Yeah. Never has been disproven many times from people I've talked to. So I understand in their world, in their reality, that makes sense. But when the body actually heals, like, I don't know if you saw, well, the guy from Australia, I think you were on. No, you weren't on with Christy, was on with him. Christy from Meeting Wellness. Pete from the Primal Timeline. He's got he had a disease that does not reverse, that needs surgery. He's gonna have to have 6 surgeries, and they said still would have a 50% chance that he would have a colostomy bag. And there's no way to go around it. This is like, so he just did the diet thing, and he had these ulcers in his digestive tract, and they all healed up, went away. And his doctor's like, what'd you do? I don't understand, because there's no precedent of anyone healing from this and not requiring surgery. And so he told him, but I mean, I don't think they believe him, but they just think he's some one-off miracle guy, right? That just got lucky. And so when they say you'll never be off, that's the thing. I would, I don't know what your condition is, but I mean, definitely have them keep checking it. Just well, you never know, right?
So far, the PCP that I have doesn't really support this way of life. Right. So I'm actively looking for somebody else that my insurance will take. And
I'll send that link. It'll be in the description.
That's why I was very interested in that. I'll have to check it
out. It is. I wonder if I'll have to send it. I don't have it on this computer, so I posted it on my Facebook group. Are you on my Facebook group?
No, but I was literally just gonna join it, so I can
join it. It's on there. Yeah, it's in my Facebook group. For anyone that's not in that likes Facebook, it's the Carnivore Diet Exchange. And the reason I call it the Carnivore Diet Exchange, it's a place where we can exchange ideas about the carnivore diet and experiences. And it's got a couple thousand people in it already. It's growing really rapidly, and it's a good community. I police it a lot. My sister's an admin; she polices a lot. We just make sure there's no nonsense and foolishness going on. It's an adult place where people can have discussions. And you know, I not that there's carnivore police, but I don't like people posting like, oh, I put honey or maple syrup in my coffee thing and it's okay. And it's like, listen, that's not okay. All right. Because if I can't do that, and maybe you can, your N equals 1. But don't post it, because people that don't know, that are new coming to this diet, will be confused. And what I would say is my Facebook group promotes best practices in carnivore. Not rules, not laws, just best practice. You want best results, you do best practices in anything you do, right? So the best practice is to eat only meat, seasoned only with salt, and not other things, and drink water. That's best practices. If you do that, if you do BBB&E, you're going to get the best results. And I know from my experience, and not just mine, but Kat's experiences and everyone else's experiences, it does make a big difference to do best practices. So like I said, it's not carnivore police, but I don't allow If you want to post keto recipes, great. There's lots of keto groups out there. You can still be part of my group. Just don't post that stuff in mine because I'm going to shoot it down. And a lot of times I actually post it when people post it, and then I comment on it like, this is not a good idea. This is what you need to stay away from. And they don't like it, but I'm like, hey, it's my group. If you don't like it,
so yeah.
make your own group, and that's fine, right? So I do have rules, and the rules are carnivore. It's got to be real carnivore. It can't be ketovore. There's plenty of ketovore sites and keto sites. If you want to do that, great. Just don't tell newcomers that it's okay, because it's not okay for everyone. It's like telling an alcoholic, oh, you can have a drink. I drink every week and it doesn't bother me. You can have a drink. Well, an alcoholic can't. My dad's an alcoholic. He cannot have a drink, not even one. And you know, you can't do that to new people. You don't know where they're at. So that's why I do that on my site. But I would recommend, please join our group, join the discussion. I do post a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good information. And of course, my videos are always announced there.
I did. I just did it while you were talking.
Great. Sandra McDonald, 41 degrees. Holy cow, that's hot. Where you must be in Australia, or in Africa, because I mean, it's hot down there right now. That's summertime and down south of the equator. Yeah, that's really hot. Now here's the deal. In Texas, Kat, you can close your ears if you don't want to hear how nice it is.
I was just looking at my weather right now.
75 degrees today.
Oh,
I was barefoot. I was grounded walking Duke, and Duke got hot on our walk. So there you go. Yeah, too hot, Western Australia. 75 Fahrenheit. It was nice. I had all my house windows open. I love days like today. I just opened all the windows, and this is almost February. I mean, it's great. I had all the fans.
47 degrees here right now, and that's pretty warm for us right now.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
But it's a low of 19.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't like that. I don't like lows that cold. We get them sometimes, but I don't like that.
It was like negative 30 something here last week or the week, and it was pretty bad. But what I don't like about it is there's no snow. If it's going to get that cold, then snow at least.
But you do get a lot of sunshine there, right? That's really
good. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I can't remember exactly. It's like 340 or 3. It's supposed to be like sunny almost all of the year, and it is very much sunny.
I've been to Denver several times, and Aspen, and always had sunny weather. Even if it was snowing, it would get warm, like 70 degrees. You like go down a t-shirt, you know, you start off with a jacket and strip down while you're out walking around the street.
That's why they say people don't get a lot of seasonal depression.
Yeah, they get sun
because it's sunny all the time.
Yeah, we talked about that last night too. And the mental health thing is seasonal depression and lack of vitamin D, and how that, you know, I served on a submarine, so I understand it, because submarines, you have no sun for months, and yeah, it gets depressing. And even if you're young, and you know, it's just, you can't get around it. So I get it, being locked up indoors. Like today, I just walked around in the sun. It felt so good. I also went down to campus and walked at UT and did some workout there. It was great. It was just a great day, and I had a great workout. Man, I'm feeling amazing in my workouts. I just started adding them like a month and a half ago, but then I was sick for the last 2 weeks. I didn't work out. Now this is my first week back, and I feel like I just picked up where I left off. It's really an awesome feeling. Are you doing any exercises, Kat, or just walking, or are you doing any other exercises yet? Are you planning to?
Actually, me and my daughter started going to the gym, and just pushing around some heavy stuff. I used to walk on the treadmill, but I just think that it's probably a little bit better to, you know, push around the weights. And then it's gorgeous here in my neighborhood. Is beautiful. So if I can get out on my lunch, I'll try to take a quick walk, but nothing crazy. And unfortunately, life keeps getting in the way. We keep, you know, wanting to go more often, and then one or both of us has something going on, but a little. And I have the energy to do it, and that's nice.
So we were talking about carnivore teacher losing his
yeah, what happened there? How does
disappeared?
How does something just disappear?
I looked on Reddit, and a lot of people have their channels deleted, and they don't tell them. They're just like, you violated some. They don't even tell them exactly what. They just say you violated terms, you're deleted, and then you have to appeal it. And basically, I guess someone posted down here in the hey, good evening, William, Richard Williams, how you doing? Copper Hill, Tennessee. It basically, someone posted that if you get 3 copyright strikes that aren't addressed in your videos, like you don't respond to them, they can delete your channel. So that's pretty easy to do, I guess, if you're using people's music or videos. I don't do that. I pretty much just do my own stuff, but Running Cadence is not a song that's copyrightable or anything.
And everything I put in mine, I pull from Epidemic Sound, and I pay for that every single month. So
yeah,
I try very, very hard to not have any kind of outside.
Now, when I streamed on John's channel, Carnivore Backwoods, I get strikes on that because he uses stuff.
Right, but it's not the same. It's not a strike that you have to do something with, because I have that too. That's just a revenue sharing, and so it's not a strike. It just means, but you can disable that. You can go in and disable that portion of his song so that you don't have to revenue share if you don't want to.
Yeah,
but I had that happen to my original. That's why everybody's like, "Oh, are you on Facebook?" Oh, I hate Facebook because I do have a Facebook now, but I had something happen to me one time and got my Facebook got deleted, and I'm literally an old fogey boring person. I'm not posting or doing anything, but something happened and Facebook deleted my account, and they deleted it like crazy. Like I couldn't get it back. I still to this day can't use like Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody had stole my identity or what happened, but they won't tell me either. So I'm very careful about what I do because I don't want to lose this Facebook account too. For my cat pictures that I posted.
These people are these people running these companies are very draconian, and they could definitely communicate better, right? Like maybe
they never even responded. Like I would try to appeal it, and I never. And they give you I think it's 30 days to appeal it, but they never respond to you, so you never can get it appealed in the 30 days. So you're just. That's a while, I guess.
I mean, like as soon as you get 1 strike, they should send you a notification saying, "Hey, if you get 3 of these and they're not responded to, you could get your channel deleted or something." Like start sending messages like warning people.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, if that's what happened to him, I'm surprised.
I don't know if that's what happened, but I was reading on Reddit, and that's happened to other people, and they've actually recovered their accounts, but after weeks of fighting for it. It'd be terrible. I would not want.
Do you have any idea? I mean, have you talked to him? Does he have?
No. He just because he's dealing with it today, so it's very fresh. So he just emailed me like at 6 p.m. Like, dude, I can't make it. I'm like, all right, I understand. It's terrible because he's a really cool guy. I love his videos too.
I was looking forward to you were telling me about him, and then I was like looking forward to coming in and meeting him and talking to him because you were saying how great he was, and then in Dave as well. But then I'm running late. And I'm like, oh my God, children, am I right?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back though, I think. But Carnivore Teacher doesn't exist right now, which is sad. And the videos he had.
You were telling me how awesome they were.
Yeah, he had some really good ones on like what's in natural flavoring, right? When do you worry about ingredients? Like what ingredients actually mean? And he broke them down really well. And I found a lot of value in that. And I was sharing with my people like, hey, you need to check this guy's page out on my Facebook page because I really appreciate his style because he's a teacher. He has, I do more of just a regular talk, frank talk, and kind of like a mission op briefing style. I don't do like a teacher style, right? And he's just a great teacher. He reminds me of the teachers I enjoyed in school, that I was interested in what they're saying, and just he has a good delivery. So
yeah, my style's more like chaotic hot mess, but it's cool. It's literally usually a disaster in the making, but you know what? That's real life here. So I figure somebody probably thinks it's okay.
Yep. And speaking of new YouTubers, Nurse Kim's not new, but she has a small.
New, is she?
She has a small channel though. She only had 683 subscribers, 275 videos. If you don't know Nurse Kim, please go follow Nurse Kimberly Lane. She's a carnivore, has a lot of good stuff, and check out her videos. Yeah, she's got some good stuff. So check it out. I like her stuff. She's definitely not for everyone, but if you like her style, you might just find that it's a good channel for you. So check out Nurse Kim, support her, and like and subscribe to her videos. She has a carnivore doctor visit. She talked about her blood work and everything. So anyway, definitely recommend you check that out. I always like to highlight some new channels or newer, smaller channels. Not that I'm big or anything, because I'm not, but just trying to help other people grow this message. And like I said, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Kat's not everyone's cup of tea, and she isn't either. But for some people, we're good, right? So
I have a very small channel myself, but
what's that?
I still have a very small channel myself.
Yeah, and it's a boutique channel, we'll call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do too, because I mean, I'm only at 6,800 subscribers, not very big. I mean,
okay, all right. Well, let's talk about small in terms of small, like me.
Well, how many do you have now?
I don't think it's even moved, and it's probably still at 2,000 something. It's been
so
a while.
Carnivore Teacher only had like 1,200 or 1,000. He did not have a big channel, and that's why I'm like, wow, I wonder how he got canceled so quick. You know, like. That's just scary.
Well, Senator McDonald's saying that you can have like a troublemaker, it looks like, and that they cause it, and then, but she says that, I don't know if you see it. It looks at 7. Well, I don't know if that 7:54 is my time or that's your time. It says that you just need to tell them that you're going to fight it, and then it's up to the. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. You're going to fight it, and then it's up to the original legal case within the time frame, or the strike reverts back to them. Interesting. So, I mean, stuff I don't know. I mean, that's crazy, but that's pretty scary. Scary stuff.
Can be mean. I mean, I don't know. There's a like, what do they call those, keyboard warriors or whatever it is?
Yeah.
People just don't like. I don't know. They want to cause trouble for whatever reason, and I don't know why. But
people say things on comments to me. And it's like, dude, if you were standing in front of me, you would not say that. I mean, I'm not a violent person, but I have been known to throat punch people. And if you're just being a total a-hole, you know, you might deserve to get a throat punch. But, you know, I mean, it's just... I
just ignore them now. I used to get bothered by it. And now I just like, you know what? I do what they should have done. Just scroll right on by.
Yeah.
Nobody told you, don't gotta watch my channel, you don't gotta watch my content, and you certainly don't need to comment on it.
Right.
You just scroll right by.
It's part of the, I got a new member, or you did. Do you have members? I think it might be my channel. Okay, so my channel. Granny Carnivore is a new member. Thank you, Granny. We got like 7 members now. We're growing. We get over 10 to 12 members. I might have some private live streams where members can just join and pop in if they want. It'll be kind of fun. So not quite there yet. We only have 7 members. We need to get where we can have like a bunch of members there for it, and we could do a live stream. That'd be fun, a private one. So thanks, Granny. I appreciate your support. When you're a member, it basically financially supports the channel, which the channel does cost money. I mean, it's $50 for this subscription for editing, and $50 for a subscription for
StreamYard.
Yeah. StreamYard is $50. All these things are $50. Everything seems to be $49.99, and they just add up. And before you know it, you're spending money on this. So, what's the name of her channel? Oh, it's Meat Fueled Living.
Is he referring to Nurse Kim or me?
Nurse
Kim is a her as well.
Yeah, let me take a look. So Nurse Kim's channel is, I'm going to put it in the chat, at Nurse Kimberly Lane. This is Nurse Kim's in the chat. Wait, did it go?
I don't see it yet.
There it is. Okay, it's going. All right, there it is. So Granny Carnivore, looking forward to helping and supporting the cause. I appreciate it. It does help. It just offsets the expenses.
One day I'll make memberships, but I confess to all of this stuff being very confusing to me, as you know.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Helped me so much. I don't even know where to begin with memberships. Some people have asked me, not because they wanted to be a member, but if I was going to, and I just one day I will.
The guests. So, Kat, it's your channel.
Me, Meat Fueled Living. Oh, I have all my tabs closed.
I put it in at Meat Fueled Living. I'll bring you up.
I rushed because you said hop on. I'm like, oh, he still wants me to come in late, so I was rushing.
Yeah, I did because I was on alone.
Like tripping over the cat and everything. Just like
I was on alone, so I was like, all right, let me let's
I didn't know if you wanted me to come in late. I didn't want to, just like pop in and be that person.
No, it's good. I mean, I wanted you here, so that's fine. Yeah, Meat Fueled Living. Kat is and I just did her Mission Carnivore interview, which did great. I thought it was a really good interview where we talked about her being in the Army and getting out and finding carnivore and how she thinks it can help veterans and active duty. And yeah, so check that out, but also check out her channel because she has a lot of good stuff there, from recipes. And what kind of videos you got going on now that you're working on? You got anything you're working on, Kat?
I'm doing a lot more recipe ones because I've had people request those, and I also am doing I never put out my why video because every time I do it depresses me so bad because it's my mom, right. And I sit down to edit it and it just breaks my little heart up. So I do need to get that done it's there. So mostly just cooking. I do a lot of just cooking because for me, that's a big deal because I was a vegan and what I cooked was potatoes or rice. And occasionally I would cook something for the kiddos or whatever. But, it was probably disgusting. I don't know. And it's a learning thing for me. Pork chops still take me out every time. I don't know what it is about pork chops and why they are so dry and like a brick, but I just can't seem to cook them. But I'm trying new things, and so for me it's funny because I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if it's tasting the way it's supposed to, but it works for me. I tried your air fryer steak recipe and overcooked that bad boy, but it looks so good. Yeah, I put a thermometer in it and still managed to overcook it.
What temperature did you pull it out at?
I told my air fryer, because my air fryer had a probe, and I told it, I think 130, and I think I need to go less than that. I Googled. I was like, listen here.
100 to 105.
Yeah, I was like, hey, what's a medium rare steak? And she's like, oh yeah, you need to go ahead and do it.
That is medium rare steak.
See, stop. She's over here. Listen, dummy. No, I did it 130 and it was pink inside, but the longer I'm on carnivore, the rarer I like my meat. And at first it needed to be cooked until, you could knock somebody out with it. And then now it's to the point where it needs to be bleeding, and I really like it that way, but I still ate it. And then I ate half of it that day, and then I cut it up the next day and threw butter and garlic on it. To see if maybe garlic bothered me because I cut out all seasonings, and it was so good.
Yeah. And did the garlic bother you at all?
Yeah, I did.
No, that's a good experiment, but you'll never know unless you cut it out first, and that's the idea behind this, right? That this
and it could have been because when I say I put butter on it, I also loaded the butter on it, and too much butter. If you know, you know. And so it could have been that. So I'm going to try it one more time on an experiment where I don't, a quarter cup of butter in there. And that's exaggerating. It wasn't that much, but it was a fair amount.
I made some burgers the other day and I added some dehydrated onions on top, which I've not had any onions.
So onions worry me because I got heartburn from onions before when I was a vegan. So
I didn't put much, just a little bit, just so you could taste it. And I'm just trying stuff, but like I said, you got to eliminate first. You got to get, I'm 300 and some odd days into this. You got to get 100 days under your belt before you start reintroducing things, I think, because that's when you get a baseline, right? You have to get your baseline down. Kat, you're over 100 days now, right?
Yeah, I was about to pull up my countdown tracker app. I think I'm at 190, but let me just look. What's the name of that app? Everybody has a different one, and I downloaded one that was like a bad habit tracker.
Nice.
That's what I found.
I'm at 315.
Oh, you are oh, it's days since. 196 I'm at.
Yeah.
So
nice. I'm at 315.
Oh, that was not what it was there, 196. But you're almost up on your carniversary.
Yeah, March 22nd.
What are you gonna do? You gonna grill out?
I don't know. I might go out somewhere and buy an expensive steak. Like
Go to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Well, there's a place called Cooper's Barbecue. I don't know if you've ever been to Llano and gone to Cooper's Barbecue, but it's a pit barbecue, like old school.
Outside. I have not been there, but I know what you're talking about.
So Cooper's, they do reverse seared smoked ribeyes, and they're like $65. But I can tell you right now, it is amazing, and it might be worth just going. I take my son just so he can try it. Like, you got to try this. My reverse sears, I think, are almost as good, but it's just about someone cooking it for you kind of is nice, right?
I
cook myself all the time. So
to go, my daughter's in the process of moving from one house to, out here in Colorado, it's a little cost prohibitive to live out here. And so she's moving from a larger place to a smaller, just so she's not house poor. And when we're done with that, we found this really great Brazilian steakhouse. Now, mind you.
Oh, I love Brazilian steakhouse.
But I bet you pay one price and then picanha is on the menu. I already checked. And I even called and asked them, I'm like, can I just have picanha? Yeah, they're like, yeah, you can do whatever. And I'm like,
try everything else, because they come with swords and then they cut the meat off for you. Like I had ribeye, I had picanha. I took my son there.
They said it's all included. Like
it is. It's all you want to eat. And you can stay there and eat all day long if you want. If you can hang out. I mean,
I'm going to be unbuttoning my pants.
But you know what? That's the funny thing. In this diet, you can't really get to where you're unbuttoning your pants.
I know, but
I know, but it's so crazy. It's like Thanksgiving, I ate till I couldn't eat anymore, and my stomach never swole up at all. But back in the old Thanksgiving,
I haven't been bloated since I did that bull crap at Christmas. But I never get bloated anymore. And I can recall having to, you can laugh at this, but if you know, the ladies here know. I had to get like a hair tie, like one of those elastics, and like loop it around my buttonhole and so that my pants could, stretch out. But I haven't had to, matter of fact, I need a belt. I'm actually, I haven't lost any. I lost the 47 pounds, but then, I think I told you I need to cut out the dairy out of my stinking coffee, and I need to cut out the coffee. But there's a lot of things that I need to do before that.
Cut the dairy out first. Coffee is not going to be affecting it so much, probably.
But my pants are looser. I went originally when I started, I was in like a 36, which and now I'm in these are 31s and they are big. So I'm pretty sure I can get into a 29 or maybe a 28 even.
I'm wearing 36s and now I have 2 pairs of 38s that I bought that are like tenths. I have 36s that are loose on me now. And I showed you the other day when I tightened them up. They look loose.
You stood up and you looked really good. And I'm not trying to be that weirdo, like, ooh, you looked really, really good when you stood up. Not that I saw you before other than a picture, but I was like, dang, he looks skinny.
Yeah. I'm 232 pounds. I'm like college weight almost. When I get to 220, I'm 4 pounds away from my college weight. And I'm putting on muscle. I mean, this is, I'm skinny and muscular, which is the dream, right? That's the dream. Can't wait for summer this year to whip my shirt off in public. Oh yeah, let's get some sun. Hey, so John Hughes, Cooper's and Llano. Are you a Texan, John? I assume you are. And if you are, where are you? Maybe we'll meet up there sometime. Might do a meetup in Cooper's. Llano is about 40 minutes for me, but I do like going out there. It's a nice town. And that's where I used to get my meat processed, was in Llano, Texas, when I had deer to get processed. There's a good meat processing place out there. It's veteran owned. Let's see. Dairy is the only thing I didn't completely cut back though. Yeah. So here's the deal.
She's a sneaky brat though. She's such a stinker.
I basically cut out dairy after stalling. in my weight loss, and I went lion for a month. That's how I cut dairy out, and I cut coffee out at the same time, and I lost 13 pounds the first 3 weeks from where I was at. So I went from 280 to about 250 or 252, and then just lost that 13 pounds and went down to, my 230s. It was crazy. Oh, you live in Kyle? Nice. We're neighbors then. I'm in Gerald. I say Austin when I talk because no one knows where Gerald is, unless you're like a meteorology person and you remember that Gerald was destroyed by a freak F5 tornado in like 96, I think, where it killed a bunch of cows and people and just destroyed the whole town. That's what Gerald's famous for. So when I moved here, people were like, oh, you must like tornadoes. I'm like, listen, the 100-year tornado already happened. I'll be gone before the next one comes.
Well, when I moved to Waco, and people say the weirdest stuff anyways, because when I was in Waco, they were always like, oh, do you know the Branch Davidians? And I got so tired of hearing it that I was like, yes, that's the reason why we moved here. And then people are like, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give me
I am a Branch Davidian.
Yeah.
I'm right there. Koresh is my buddy. Right?
Because that's every single time I would go somewhere outside there, I'd be like, oh, I live in Waco. And they're like, oh, did you? And I'm like, yes, I did. No.
Tracy Bentley's in Austin. Yeah. We have a lot of people here in the Austin area. We did a meetup. We did a meetup at Rudy's in Round Rock, which was very fun. If you didn't go and you are in the area, our next one will probably be at KetoCon, probably in May. That'll probably be our next one. I might do one before then. We'll see. It was fun. We did a raffle and gave away my Carnivore Soldier gear. I gave away coffee cups, an apron, shirts. It was fun. And we all got to talk and share and just, good fellowship with fellow carnivores. I thought it was a really valuable and exciting time.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. I'm sure in Colorado, there's got to be a lot of people you could probably meet up with. Got to be other content creators up there in Denver.
I haven't met a single one. Of course, again, I haven't been like really pushing anything, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, or anything like that. I think if I did that and was like actually putting some feelers out, but right now, nobody. It's like crickets out here.
So Tracy says we should do one for my carniversary. That might be worth it. That might be what we do. Salt Lick in Driftwood is much closer than Cooper's for me. Yeah, Cooper's is just better than Salt Lick, though. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a barbecue snob, but I'm telling you, Salt Lick's fine. It's just, I don't know. I prefer Cooper's.
You consider the Salt Lick a barbecue place, though? I consider that more of like a steakhouse.
No, Salt Lick a barbecue place.
Is it a barbecue?
Yeah.
Again, this is how much I know about that, but I just assumed that the Salt Lick was a steakhouse.
No. I think you're thinking of Salt. What's the other one? Saltgrass.
Oh,
Saltgrass is a steakhouse.
Yes.
Salt Lick is actually, there's only 2 of them, I think, and they're in the Austin area, and they have indoor pits, and they're really good. They're not bad. If you've never been to Cooper's, you definitely check it out. There's actually one in Austin that I was told by a sales guy who was going to take me there for dinner for my job because trying to sell me stuff, that the Cooper's there is as good as the one in Llano. I've not been there, so I can't tell you it is, but Cooper's is a good brand, so I imagine they probably manage it well, and same meat supply, same smoking techniques and everything. So probably good. There's a lot of good barbecue in the Austin area. In Texas, I mean, you got Blacks, you got even the Rudy's in the Austin area is really good. There's a lot of good, and Rudy's in Austin is different than Rudy's anywhere else in Texas, which I didn't realize when I moved here. Because I went to Rudy's and I thought, oh, this is pretty good barbecue. And then I saw people on Facebook, slamming it. And I'm like, well, no, it's not bad. You guys are crazy. And then I went to a Rudy's in Houston and went to a Rudy's in Corpus Christi, and they were terrible. And I was like, oh, I see. It's just, the reason is the Rudy's in Austin are actually franchises. They're not corporate owned. The corporate ones went to a lower quality of meat, I think, because the meat's not as good. And the franchise kept their quality high. And I like the stuff in Austin way better. So I'm pretty loyal to Rudy's in Austin. Yeah, you're correct. Salt Lick is just okay. I have had good barbecue with salt lick, but it's not consistent in my opinion. It's not consistent enough. So that's it. Granny Carnivore is in Leander, which says Austin, Texas too. So that's great. You're in Leander, so yeah, we'll have to have
in the house here.
Yeah, a lot of Texans here. We'll have to have another meetup. Maybe we will do one on my Carniversary. We'll see. I will take a look. March 22nd. I gotta look at my calendar, see what's going on. That might be a good idea. That gives me time too, because that gives me 2 months. But I want to do it on a weekend where my son's here, and I get him first, third, and fifth weekend. So it probably wouldn't be exactly on my Carniversary, but it'll be a Carniversary celebration, I guess. When's your Carniversary, Kat?
July 19th.
July 19th. Okay, good deal. Good deal. Well, we've been on over an hour. Is there anything you want to tell us that you're working on, or you're besides? No? Just
no. Nope. I'm just trying. I finally got my setup set back up, but now I'm down in the basement, so I can start putting videos and stuff out again. Moving stings. I do not recommend. 0 out of 10.
I hate moving. Hate it.
And if you can see behind this computer, it's just a wall of boxes. One day, I might get to it one day, but I'm just not feeling that motivated yet. But I finally am getting to the point now where I can, find everything and do more videos. So I'll be doing more cooking videos and, a few of the kind of chatties. And I do actually have a couple where I have my measurements and stuff again. And for some reason, people really love to see the videos where you look like a mess. And so I do have some, since I've lost that 47 pounds, I should probably post those as well. But
I like to post my before and after side-by-side picture from the first 6 months, not what I'm at now, because I'm even better now. But I like to post that when I'm responding, kind of like receipts, right? So if I got on a Facebook group and someone's like, hey, can you do this? And I would say, well, I don't really do that. I would recommend if you want best results, you do best practices, and best practices are this. And here's my picks of, this is what happened to me. And I've had people comment on it saying, thanks for motivating me. I needed to see that. I needed to see someone be successful and, someone and hear that. I mean, maybe they need to hear that, because a lot of people just tell them, oh, eat whatever you want. You do you, eat sweet stuff. That's fine. Just eat honey, right? That's not what this is about, right? It's an elimination diet. If you're just trying to lose weight, just do ketovore.
Yeah.
Because you'll lose the same weight in ketovore or even keto. I lost weight in keto, but you won't get all the other benefits that we're talking about here. I
didn't do this for weight loss at all. It is a happy accident, but I had no intentions of pursue. And this is a pretty strict way of going if you're just trying to do weight loss. And
right, it's too strict.
I don't know. For me, that's not going to be enough of a why, because I've tried a million diets over the years and I end up always going back to the same thing. I think for me, if I didn't have like an actual serious reason, now that losing weight is not serious because it's life-saving in most cases, but you know what I mean? I don't think it's a serious enough why for me.
Weight loss not for me either. But the thing is, I did start it because I saw the weight loss, but I also saw the fact that Dante Fregno was a different person in the first video to the last videos. He had changed. Everything about him was different. The way he carried himself, his cadence, his face, everything had changed. His optimism, he was like a different person. And that is kind of what I gravitated towards. But you can say, came for the weight loss, stayed for the health and mental and physical health. And that's accurate. That's why no one could stop me from eating this way now. They couldn't pay me to go back. If, Doritos came and said, listen, we want to pay you $1 million a year and you be a Doritos spokesman, converting from carnivore to eating regular food, I'd be like, no, not going to happen. I would rather just make my salary and make videos and live a life of, and I'm enjoying my life, man. It's just like for the first time in a while, I'm actually enjoying life. And I wasn't enjoying life. No,
me neither.
Yeah. And now I really do.
I was trying to figure out ways to unalive myself. So
yeah, I know. Me too. I've been there. It's not funny, but
it's not funny.
Everyone gets there at some point, and it's not a good place to be, right? So, but the difference between that and this is just so drastic. It's crazy, right? Did keto 13 years ago, got my life back carnivore, doing 30-yard sprints. Nice, with emphysema. Yeah, I sprinted today, and I was out, man. When I finished sprinting, I was like lightheaded, like ready to collapse, and it felt great. I was like, man, this is amazing. I can sprint
Right
again.
high, huh?
Yeah, it's a high. So got my life back. That's the difference. You can lose weight with keto, but you can't get your life back. That's what I would say. And I've done keto, and I did lose weight for schools and stuff, and for Army PT tests. It worked for that, but I'd never got my life back. Not like this. This is completely different vehicle. So that's why I'm such an advocate for being a clean carnivore, like, trying it clean. Yeah, I'm not saying don't bring stuff back in. I'm just saying do 100 days clean, then bring it back in, because then you have a baseline. Until then, you don't know what normal is. What you think is normal is not. It's corrupted. It's bad. So, I mean, Kat's there. She went off the reservation for Christmas, and she felt it, and she knows it's.
And it was harder for me. Yeah, because mine was a sugar addiction. And
yeah, me too.
It's really, it was harder for me to get back on the wagon, but I don't ever want to feel like that. I don't want to feel that way. And I'm actually quite surprised by my behavior over Christmas, but that tells me that it's a sickness up here. So,
yeah.
Just can't have it. I mean, I had to tell people, you know what, holidays, birthdays, whatever, don't bring that crap in my house. Or if you bring it in, take it with you when you go. Just matter of fact, just don't bring it. Just eat that crap at home.
That's the healthy attitude, right? You have to know, you have to become the subject matter expert on you and your limitations and your strong points. You have to know yourself, because you're in a battle. This is a war. For me, it's not even just sugar. It's anything sweet. I can't eat sweet stuff. I just can't.
Weird though, stevia wasn't. I make my own stevia, and I never crave, like, even for Christmas dinner. And I don't mean to get us off the rails.
I wish I could. I love sweet stuff.
But I had no desire to eat anything sweet at all. It wasn't until, for me, I'm an emotional eater, and I'm a binge restrictor. And so when everybody left and that, dark cloud of depression come hanging out over my head, that's when I did it. But so, for me, I struggle. I have depression and anxiety. So I don't know when that's coming back around. I don't know when she's coming to hang out. We're going to have a cup of coffee later, maybe. I don't know. But I can't have that kind of stuff around in my house, so that when she does show up, here I am with the pie again. So no, but stevia doesn't do that to me, but I also would do like 2 drops of stevia in my coffee. I wasn't talking like an entire chocolate pie. So,
but I mean, I wouldn't go to an alcoholic's house that I know is a major alcoholic and drink half a bottle of bourbon and leave it behind, right? That's not what I would do, because I respect that person. I mean, maybe I would drink. I probably wouldn't even drink in front of them, to tell you the truth. But if I did, I would definitely not leave a bottle behind after I left. Let's see. Julia was hooked on stevia, gave up everything sweet. That's what I had to do. I gave up everything, and that's the only way my cravings went away. I saw a girl on one of the carnivore groups I'm on talk about drinking milk. She says that is how she handles her cravings, by drinking milk every night. I'm like, that's not handling your cravings. That's feeding your addiction.
Sugar and the lactose.
You're feeding an addiction is what you're doing. That's like saying I'm going to handle my cravings by having a beer every night. That's not handling your cravings. If you're an alcoholic, that's feeding it, right? You have to. So I was like, you need to stop your cravings, not address them, not handle them. You need to.
And I don't know that the milk would be any better, because, like I said, the lactose in it turns to sugar anyways in your body.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, but. I can't point a finger at anybody, because this girl right here, I fell off the wagon, blew the wagon up, hit it with a sledgehammer, drowned it, whatever. I can't say anything. All I can say is.
But that's valuable, right? That's how you do your AAR, and you figure out next holiday what's not going to happen, right? Because you've done your AAR. You said, okay, these are 3 things we want to sustain. These are 3 things we want to stop, right? And we're gonna fix these things, and that is when failure can be valuable, and it needs to be. If you do fail, make it valuable. Don't make it just a waste of time. Like, oh, I just failed because I'm a failure. No, take a lesson learned, make a plan, find out what was I feeling during that period. What was, what things contributed to it, and figure out how to beat that. Yeah, I know certain things about
and
you.
I'm a advocate of you're not a failure until you quit trying, and I haven't quit trying, so I'm still chugging away for sure. But I'm sorry I veered off. I know you were trying to get off, and I just
no. This is important because this is the stuff that people need to see, that we're real people, right? We're not rock star freaking YouTubers or whatever. I don't know that there are.
I'm a rock star, Larry. I'm a rock star. Like, my head is hard as a rock, but no, I know what you're saying. But yeah, bacon. I do love me some bacon.
Bacon was my go-to.
I don't know though. I'm thinking about cutting pork out because something is giving me a little bit of inflammation, like my knuckles, and I'm having some inflammation. And I know you're going to say it's coffee, but I eat a lot of pork belly and bacon and pork can be a little inflammatory for people. So I don't know, because I do love me some bacon. I might cut it out. I don't know. We're gonna address that one later.
When I started, bacon was my snack that I fried a pound of bacon every day. Put it
in my purse.
Yeah, and carried it with me, and it was very crispy. I like very crispy bacon. So
do I. Somebody told me that I burn my bacon. I'm like, no, sir. That's the way it tastes good.
That is a superfood. It's like a protein bar on steroids. It's better than any protein bar you're ever going to buy. Is a strip of bacon. Better than anything, any jerky you're going to buy. It is better.
Pork can be inflammatory for some people, so I don't know. We'll see.
But so can coffee.
I'll cut out the dairy first, because pork.
Dairy first, and then you can try without coffee too, because coffee is.
Larry, what are you saying to me right now?
Oxalates.
I don't speak that language, Larry. What was that?
Okay. All right, let's call it a night, Kat. This is fun. Right. I'm glad you joined. Everybody, listen, if you guys have ideas of what kind of videos we should make, please post some down here that you'd like to see some videos. Like, I'd like to see a video addressing X or Y. I'd love to get some feedback from y'all, and so would Kat. So we'll go through and we'll read them, and we'll answer the responses. So if you have, if you'd like to see us do certain types of videos, let us know. And we'll definitely discuss that. But yeah, thanks, Granny Carnivore. It's good having all you guys with us. I appreciate you. Have a great week. Stay strong and overcome, guys. And all I got to say is Carnivore Soldier out. All right, we're off.
Did you hate it when you hit end live and then you just sit there staring? For the love of Pete.
I'm sure it froze for a second, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I was really bummed out that John's channel got deleted. That sucked, and it scared me. I was like, oh my gosh, that could happen to me. I still have most of my videos on my computer, and I do load a lot of them up to what's the other one? The other video channel. I forget what it's called.
But I have all of mine. I have this big, and it's a big beast, but it's this big giant, like 5 terabyte hard drive. I have all my videos on there because I kept filling up these. What are these little ones? I was filling these things. I have like 10 of them around here, so I have them all backed up here, and then I have them in the cloud as well. So
that's good.
Because we're still on.
What?
We're still on.
I ended the stream. That's weird.
Says we're still on.
All right, we're still on. I thought I